Yo, sorry for all the waiting. I'm behind on the project I'm trying to present right now. I'm having trouble finding the research, but you know, what's new? What do you guys expect? Don't tell me you expected more because that'll upset me. But I'm about done. Just here's what I'll say. Here's the question: do I have enough actual fans of the challenge here to be upset about like someone I'm gonna snub in the conversation, even though obviously they're not the right answer, but they deserve a spot in the conversation? How do we feel? Should I just skip it? No, I'll do it. It'll take me 5 fucking seconds. Jesus. I just figured, watch a genius at work as opposed to, you know, just listen to more Pitbull. Maybe I'll play the Pitbull anyways, or some Rihanna. You guys enjoy. I'm just gonna cook 1 second. How are you guys? Can't read the chat. Don't want to read the chat. Fuck you guys. God, I really hate the fucking AI results on Google because they're all fucking wrong. I can't like use them for anything. I'll ask you guys for the answer for this one then. I guess I don't know. Whatever. All right, let's just fucking do this. I don't care. Anyways, what's up? I'm here. I'm here. I'm officially here. The stream has begun. Don't hold the last 8 seconds against my streaming resume, okay? How are you guys? Thanks some subs. Thank you, Emsony, for the 1 year. Enjoy your piss hat. And Card Girl for the 13 months. Card Girl, if you're here, where does your username come from? Are you a Cardinals fan, or am I less excited about your username? AI is here to stay. Unfortunately, Google have to get used to it. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Like, if it works, like, here's the thing about AI. Like, I think AI is very dangerous for so many reasons, but it's a useful tool. If it doesn't work, then what the fuck are we doing here? Thank you, Care Bear, for the 14 months. I appreciate it. You're a Louisville Cardinals fan. All right, same idea, but no, that is not very exciting to me. Did you find out why they removed your VOD? No, and I'm trying to get it up, and it's like in the fucking void. My thought is I fucked up with my mixer a little bit, like the audio mixer, so maybe it was copyrighted music, but as far as I understand, that would just mute the VOD, not get it deleted outright. I didn't get an email about it being reported, which I feel like I would have if it got taken down that way. So I'll send them an email, see if I can get it back up. Someone said it was on a YouTube channel. Is that true? This one should save. I made sure that my VODs are set to save. But if someone already has it on a YouTube channel, that'd be ideal. If not, it might just be gone forever. So you guys can share that link amongst yourself. It is? Okay, perfect. Thanks, Nizer Bees, for the 14. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, doofus. It's all a conspiracy. I don't know what that account is, but I'm glad there's a resource out there. But anyways, how are you guys? How are you? What's going on? What are the vibes? Classic little Cory yapping stream into Traitors. I gotta make sure that I finish my yappage, my little presentation, before the Traitors starts, which, not even when the Traitors starts, it's when America gets back and we start watching the Traitors. We're probably gonna start watching at 9 Eastern, so 8 Central, even though the episodes come out like 20 minutes earlier. So, what are you going to do? Called in sick? Yeah. I'm sorry. It happens. Enjoy the rest, hopefully. A good page for all BB lives on every platform. Watching Quinn's casting video, what do you guys think? Do you think it's good advice? Trying to ignore the breaking news alert. Is there a breaking news? What? Oh, you mean like, okay. Yeah. None of them are very good. Annoyed at Trump? Yeah, it's always the people you'd least expect, Who would have thought? He shouts out your video you made with your casting video. Yeah, I mean, my casting video that's on my YouTube channel is more just like funny and like a stream highlights than it is like a comprehensive advice stream. I just didn't want to make one because I think there's a lot of videos like that in the space, and I wasn't willing to put in the effort to make one that I think was additive. But I think Quinn obviously was willing to put in that effort, so. I liked how he made a playlist. That's good. Yeah, I have a playlist of bad Big Brother audition tapes that I thought was very funny, and I was gonna watch it on stream one day, but I'm like, this is mean. These people don't have any like views, so it's just gonna have people brigade them. Did you watch Dondi? No, but I want to. I definitely want to. Ex-Survivor Attorney General Nick Brown had a win today. Have to appreciate the small stuff. Okay. Hopefully not Nick Wilson. A one-take baddie, whereas he is a multi-shot queen. Yeah, I think the reasons Quinn and I got cast are complete opposites. You know what I mean? I think we were very different. We're same archetypes, but very different casting philosophies. So it's kind of interesting. I think, honestly, like, when you're making a casting video, you have to be so hyper-specific to who you're making it for. Like, Quinn's casting advice, I didn't watch the video, to be clear. Like, I will soon, probably right after stream. But, like, Quinn's casting advice probably doesn't work for Matt Klotz. Or maybe it does. Maybe it is, like, general and all-encompassing. But, like, everyone's journey has to be so different and tailored to their archetype and what production wants out of them. So it's a very, like, different process that's hard to, like, pin down. I will say it's very easy to get called, right? That it's easy to give advice for people on how to get called. Once it gets in the interviews, that's where it gets very good luck. Anyways, do you guys just want to get into the presentation? I'm not super, like, this is a discussion where I'm really just trying to gauge how you guys feel. I want you guys to bring up your points, and I can push back against them or agree with them, who can see. And then we'll do a poll at the end of each little block to see who you guys think the GOAT is. Because I have my beliefs, and my beliefs are pretty immovable. They are what they are. Would Matt have been cast if he wasn't deaf? I think that's a weird question because it's like that's such a huge part of his identity, obviously. So I don't even think it's a fair question to ask. Like, his whole life would be different. You know what I mean? His story would be different. His experiences would be different. At the end of the day, like, super hot dudes with no personality get cast all the time, right? So if you want to even put aside the fact that he's a deaf Olympian champion, he still has a shot, I'm sure. If they were looking to check that box, it's not a box that they check. Like, I'm sure it was a thing in his casting that's like, oh, this is very cool. I'm sure it was a huge part of his story and a huge part of his pitch. But it's not like they got to fill the deaf box. That's not a thing. Want to play Fortnite or what? Can we do, like, Fall Guys tomorrow or the day after, maybe? Or Fortnite. I haven't played in forever. I got Traitors tonight. Quinifer. If Matt was a hamster, would he have been cast? Would I still love him if he's a worm? These are all good questions. Matt is so interesting to me because he was so objectively boring on the show. Yeah, that was my takeaway watching Big Brother. Like, I was kind of shocked how he was top 3 AFP. And I do understand, like, obviously it's a demographic thing, and he had a very sympathetic story and a sympathetic edit, and I guess there was the Matt and Riley stuff. But I just found him so dull on the show compared to, like, Felicia, for example. But we don't have to go through how casuals vote for AFP. What's up? And you know, as Quinn knows, getting top 3 AFP means virtually nothing, so. I feel like, Matt, you didn't watch live feeds last few weeks. But that's not even what I'm talking about. Like, I get the dissonance between episodes and the edit, right? Like, I'm not surprised Cameron won AFP. After watching the edit, that's very obvious to me. That seems like the obvious thing that was going to happen. It's just watching the edit didn't illuminate anything for me about Matt. So. Bad DR confessionals in the endgame go a long way to making a season's ending feel painful. Yeah. I mean, Jag was the best. I mean, you know, Suri and Felicia were obviously better, but Jag of the Mafia was the best by far, and it was like, that's pretty rough. It's a tough spot. Thanks, Melfna. I think I already thanked you, but I appreciate it. 12 months. Enjoy the piss hat. Let's start talking about it. Let's start talking about some topics. Not the Elgato. Why are we in the Elgato? Sir? Okay, there we go. You should talk politics more for stream. Last time I did a politics stream, it did not go well. Let me tell you that. But yeah, like, if I'm going to talk mad politics, I have to do a lot of research beforehand because I don't want to talk out of my ass. And I am knowledgeable about politics, but there's always more knowledge to be had. And, you know, I have a propensity to bullshit, and I don't want to bullshit something like that. At least our trauma was collective. Yeah, well, look, as painful as the day might have been, the viewer count was solid. And isn't that something we can all be happy about? In times like this, we have to embrace the silver linings. One of which being huge viewership. Maybe if those viewers went out to the fucking polls, we would have had a chance. I'm looking at all of you. Well, not all of you. Some of you. So, okay. Let's go to the first show. Survivor. Now, Survivor, of the 3 shows we're going to be talking about today, in my opinion, has the most candidates for who the GOAT is. Now, what is the, what's the formula we're using to determine the GOAT? Well, I'm going to go through all these players, and I'm going to give you, in my opinion, the case for them being the GOAT. And I'll mention some of the drawbacks. So I'm not going to divulge my opinion. You all might know where my opinion is already, but, you know, suspend some disbelief. And I'm going to give you the pitch. Why this player should be considered the greatest of all time. Some things that go into that equation are the unlike the last greatest of all time kind of video we did, or, stream we did, this is not objective. This is pretty subjective. I'm going to be actually looking at people's individual games and try to contextualize their results as opposed to just saying, oh, they got 4th here, which is better than 5th in this previous season. Like, there's actual nuance here. So, after I make all these pitches for everyone, we're going to have a chat poll, and, the chat will have a collective GOAT decision by the end. Sound good? So, the first candidate for the Survivor GOAT, I have 5, is Boston Rob Mariano. Now, I think his whole case is, it's a bit of a roller coaster, but Boston Rob's highs are about as high as anyone in Survivor history. 2nd place on All-Stars, losing by a single vote to his wife. I think a lot of people would argue that loss doesn't really feel like that much of a loss. Could he have taken Jenna Lewis and won? Probably. But do we all agree in the chat that he made the right decision in taking Amber to get the 1st place and the 2nd place money? I certainly do. So while All-Stars is not a winning season, he didn't win. You can't give him credit for it. I'm going to give him a good amount of credit. I think that's pretty reasonable. So that's already kind of a winning season. Here's Villains. He comes back, and he's doing pretty well, and he gets kind of boomed out of the game in one of the most bizarre sequences of strategic thinking of all time. Tyson just implodes Rob's whole side. I think a lot of people say Rob would have won that season. I don't think that's true. I think, honestly, Tyson probably would have won. But he was definitely on track to make it pretty deep into the game. So that 13th placement isn't as bad as I think it looks. Comes back for Redemption Island, one of the most dominant games in reality TV history. Probably is an asterisk in terms of like, well, he's one of 2 returning players playing against a weak cast. It's all newbies. I think it's a very fair criticism, but he does everything that he could. He dominates the season. It's not close. He wins convincingly. It was also a Redemption Island season, so he had to get rid of people several times. But he really had his majority alliance on lock. Got to the end with 2 goats, swept them. Really wasn't a competitive season. Then he comes back on Winners at War. Frankly, we're going to see this with a couple people on Winners at War. I don't blame people who place poorly here. The fuck was Boston Rob supposed to do? Did he play well on his swap tribe? No. It also didn't fucking matter. He was cooked. I didn't talk about Marquesas, but it was season 4, and he didn't do very well. He wasn't a very good player at that time. So the case for Boston Rob is simple. We have a very big sample size. We have 5 seasons. 2 of his 5 seasons are 2 of the most impressive games we have ever seen on Survivor. His first game, I don't think you blame him that much for. It's Marquesas. Winners at War, I place no blame on him. Here's Villains. He was playing well, got a little bit screwed. So yeah, he's got some low placements. He's got some high placements. Overall, he's always playing in a dominant position, and his highs are hella high. Cons, he had an awkward conversation with America that one time. It's something you got to consider. Not watching Redemption Island, but watching Winners at War and wondering why the fuck Boston Rob was there. Yeah. I'm glad he's a winner. I'm glad he got Redemption Island, you know? One of the most noticeable survivors ever. Yeah, you can make the cultural argument. He also was a fucking, coach on Island of the Idols. He's as recognizable as any survivor. He's played 5 times. That's the most of anyone. So, I think Rob has a very reasonable case to be the GOAT. Next up's Parvati. I think Parvati was the first GOAT of Survivor, at least in the internet discussion era. Parvati had a very solid showing on her first season, 6th place, very under the radar. Fun game. Didn't really have much win equity. Yul and Ozzy were always going to win that season, but she did well. Gets brought back, kind of a surprise to most people, on Micronesia. It's fans versus favorites. Of course, she's a favorite. Spearheads, or at the very least, is a massive part of one of the most dominant alliances in Survivor history, the Black Widow Brigade, with, my friends, Suri Fields, Amanda, Natalie, Alexis. And she wins a very, very impressive season. Really impressive winning game. There's a slight asterisk of would Suri have won if it was a final 3? It's ambiguous. I think you use that data to be like, wow, Suri was robbed more than, say, Parvati fluked her way into a win. That's how I view it, at least. So her winning game, extremely impressive. Maybe there's a bit of an asterisk. It's fans versus favorites, so there's a lot of fans who don't know what they're doing. But it was a pretty strong group of players on the fan side, or at least there were a few good players. Now, in my opinion, her most impressive game comes the season after. She goes to Heroes Villains. Probably has one of the 2 biggest reputations in the entire cast. I would say it might be her and Boston Rob. And she is immediately ostracized through the will of her own social game, and Russell being in love with her is able to fucking sneak her way into a power position, flips the entire game at the final 10, runs to the end. Russell, despite being betrayed by Parvati over and over again, still refuses to vote out Parvati, snipping everyone else along the way. She gets to the final 3, and because of bitterness towards Russell for the most part, loses to Sandra. I think the back-to-back Heroes Villains Micronesia, or reverse it, is one of the most impressive 2-season stretches in Survivor history. It's an amazing, dominant, winning game into one of the best second-place runner-up games in Survivor history. She then, as a result of her win in Micronesia, gets asked to play on Winners at War, where this 15th place, I think, is bullshit. It was actually a pretty good showing. Again, probably the biggest reputation of anyone on the season, except maybe Boston Rob. She's on the show. She somehow weasels her way into a fine position and gets swap screwed right before, the merge. So this is just unlucky. It happens. I don't hold this 15th place showing against her at all. Thanks, Tom, for the gift. I appreciate you. Thank you. Parvati, I think, is the number one response when people ask, who do I want to play most like? I feel like Parvati is the name that comes up the most. Definitely created her own archetype, carved out the Black Widow spot. I guess Jerry started it, but, Parvati kind of took it to a new level. Average placement of 6th place after having a 15th place showing is absurd. 4-season sample size as well. So the argument for Parvati, she has a very high floor. Her worst seasons are not even that bad. Winners at War, kind of out of her hands. Cook Islands, 6th place. Her highs are as high as anybody. One of the best 2-season stretches in reality TV history. And knows how to play from every position. From the bottom, from the top. Boston Rob kind of only plays from the top. Parvati's shown ability to work from the bottom in Heroes Villains, the top in Micronesia, and has had to deal with her reputation, as she had to in Heroes Villains and Winners at War. Her Cook Islands game isn't too bad either. Yeah, it's kind of a footnote in her history because her other seasons are so good. Which takes us to option number 3. Sandra Diaz-Twine, the Queen, the original, the first 2-time winner of Survivor. She's on Pearl Island, season 7, and she plays a very scrappy game. Was able to get rid of Johnny Fairplay at 3. Never really in danger. The only spot she's really in danger is if Drake loses at the start, but they survive. Queen stays queen, yeah. She immediately gets, or not immediately, 13 seasons, 12 seasons, get brought back for Heroes versus Villains. I think people were a little bit surprised to see Sandra there, but it was refreshing. And I think people were even more surprised to see Sandra win the season. She is the only player in Survivor history to get back-to-back wins. On Heroes Villains, she's playing a good social game at the start. She's in the majority on the Villains tribe. Eventually, Russell's able to flip the script. But even then, she's able to play nice with Russell and avoid being on, Russell's chopping block. She kind of wedges herself in with Jerry, along with Parvati, Danny, and Russell. Despite that, she's always working against Russell, trying to work with the heroes to flip things. Fails the entire time, but wins favor with the heroes as a result, which allows her to win a jury vote against Parvati and Russell, 2 of the most dominant strategic players in the show's history, convincingly. It was not a close jury vote. She wins against basically anyone at the end, any of the villains. Jerry might have been a bit more ambiguous. So that 2-season run, going 2 for 2, 2-time winner, is the case for Sandra being the greatest of all time. Then she has a couple more seasons. Game Changers is a disaster. She has this whole idol fiasco with JT, and it's pretty insane if you look back at it. It's pretty crazy. Or not with JT, sorry. She has her... You guys know what I'm talking about. What was her problem with... I know Winners at War, she had her, disaster giving an idol, and then Denise idols her out. On Game Changers, I'm trying to think of the circumstances. Because the thing is, on both of her following seasons, she kind of put herself in a bad spot. It wasn't like she was, it's Sandra, it's 2-time winner. She has to, she's going to go no matter what. What are you going to do? It's good that she got to 15th. The sugar incident. The point is, she played herself into a really bad position twice and got 15th place twice. And I'm not factoring an Australian Survivor, no. So, the case for Sandra, dominant. No, she's not dominant. but she's extremely scrappy, went 2 for 2, only survivor ever to go back-to-back. And you could argue that on her worst performances, she had the reputation of a 2-time winner, which is pretty crazy. So I think it's pretty impossible to, win from that position. How was she in comps? In challenges, she was terrible. She was terrible, but that's kind of her charm. Which takes us to option number 4 of 5. Tony Vlachos. One of the funniest 3-season journeys in Survivor history. Season 28, Survivor Cagayan. He plays one of the most batshit crazy games you'll ever see. Kind of goes old school Rob Sesternino, flips between his two sides a million times, is finding idols, finding God idols, flipping on LJ, flipping on Jeremiah, flipping on Sarah, flipping on Trish. Fucking flipped on Trish. And always lines it up so there's a bigger target in front of him. Spencer, for most of the season. There's a crazy twist that makes the final 3 a final 2, because he definitely beats Cass and Wu, and somehow gets Wu to take him to the end, despite obviously Wu was going to be able to beat Cass, and obviously would lose to Tony. I think you could definitely argue that is Tony's best move in his entire Survivor career. Crazy dominant win. Crazy gameplay in general, but he pulled it out. Did he win unanimously? I think there was 1 vote for Wu, maybe? Then he gets asked back for Game Changers just 5 seasons later. Kind of crazy. I don't think people expected to see Tony that quickly. And it's a disaster. It's a total train wreck. Now, the cast is insane. Tony has no right being on this cast. It's people from Brad Culpepper to Haley Ford to Tony and Sandra. So Tony comes in with the biggest threat of probably anyone on the cast, even more than Sandra. But he doesn't play it well. He immediately starts looking for idols and building spy bunkers, and he gets eliminated in 19th place. So, did he ever have a chance of winning the season? No. But he did not do a good job. So he gets second to last. Tasha voted for Wu, right? We're like, okay, so we know what Tony is. He's high risk, high reward. He's, he plays the way he plays. Was Cagayan a fluke? Well, then he goes to Winners at War and wins. And it's not the same kind of game he plays in Cagayan. He just plays a dominant game, front-running basically the entire time. He shows a competition ability and a challenge ability that he didn't have previous seasons. He's killing individual immunities. What did he win, 4? It's pretty ridiculous. So all of a sudden, you look at his resume, and you're like, all right, 3 seasons, 2 wins, and a 19th place? What the fuck do we do with this? The argument for Tony is simple. He's played 3 seasons. He's won 2 of them. Those 2 wins are both pretty, I don't know what the word is, unanimously considered top 10 wins in the show's history. Obviously, Survivor Cagayan's an extremely competitive cast. Winners at War is the most competitive cast in Survivor history. So he's got 2 unbelievably impressive wins. One of 2 people to have them. Obviously, his wins are more dominant than Sandra's. And he burned out on 1 season. IMO, he's not in the GOAT conversation. Can you explain how? I'm just curious. Not in the GOAT conversation's crazy. If you say he's not your GOAT, that's fine. There's a lot of valid options. But not in the conversation feels a little bit crazy, unless it's just pure subjectivity. So there you got Tony. Again, 7th average placement with a 19th is pretty funny. Which leads us to the last candidate, which I think is probably going to be the least popular candidate. New Traitors episode's out. We'll watch it at 8. Sarah Lucina, who goes on her first season, is the merge boot, shows some promise, but ultimately plays the merge episode very sloppy. Comes back on Game Changers, definitely has one of the most dominant wins in the show's history against a very competitive cast. She's running circles around all of them, including Sari Fields, which is insane. Very, very impressive. She comes back on Winners at War with a pretty big threat level. Maybe not the biggest, but pretty big. And she plays a very dominant game. Gets blindsided by Tony a few times, but, Tony's never going to actually vote out Sarah. They have a pregame bond. And she ends up getting 4th right before final tribal, whereas if she got to that final tribal, she wins. Now, what's the argument for Sarah to be the GOAT? It seems like kind of a confusing one. Like, how could you argue she's the GOAT over Tony? Well, her floor is a lot higher. I don't think Sarah is ever being voted out first, second, third. She has a certain baseline that a Boston Rob, a Tony, a Sandra don't have. And she was extremely close to being a 2-time winner. If that fire-making challenge, which was very close, goes a different way, Sarah is a 2-time winner. Her worst placement is 11th. And I think all the GOAT, whatever status Tony gets, Sarah gets instead. My shoe size was it like 8? About an 8. The argument for Sarah, simple. Very close to being a 2-time winner, in which case I think it'd be very hard to argue she's not the GOAT. Like, almost impossible to argue she's not the GOAT. Extremely impressive winning Game Changers, was one very competitive fire-making challenge away from winning Winners at War, which would have been back-to-back dominant seasons. So that's it. Those are our 5 Survivor GOAT candidates. I will run a poll. Who is the Survivor GOAT? And I will reveal my answer at the end. Did someone already make a poll? You already did it? All right, thank you, Katie. All right. So you got Boston Rob, almost a 2-time winner, 2 dominant performances, a couple bad performances. Parvati Shallow, again, almost a 2-time winner, 2 of the best back-to-back seasons of all time, and a pretty high floor. Sandra, the first 2-time winner, the only back-to-back winner in the show's history. Very high highs, very low lows. Tony, played 3 times, won twice, third time was a disaster. 2 winning games, as good of winning games as you're going to get. Sarah, close to having that exact resume with a much higher floor than Tony. The result, with 58% of the votes, is Parvati. Sarah Lucina with 0 of the votes. Tony is second with 26%. Rob with 13. Sandra with 4. My opinion, the way I do my rankings, the best Survivor player of all time, I have Tony. I think Tony's the best. I think his 2 winning games were too impressive. I think Parvati's win in Micronesia is a little bit overrated, but I do have Parvati at number 2. I go Tony, then Parvati is my list. I go Tony, then Parvati, then Sarah, then Rob. And Sandra is not even my 5th, to be honest. So that's my list. 2 cops. It's Tony first, Parvati second, and then Sarah. But you guys got Parvati, and I think that's, if you took the entire Survivor community's opinions, I do think Parvati would win. Which leads us to Big Brother. Big Brother, I think, is a more straightforward conversation. I think there's someone who people would consider to be a consensus GOAT, but I think there's a lot of arguments to make for other people. So let's start with Dr. Will Kirby. Dr. Will Kirby, he's a winner. Average placement of 2.5. It's pretty fucking good. Won Big Brother 2, was certainly a trailblazer, won 0 HOHs. It's kind of his thing. He just doesn't win competitions. He doesn't need to. He's the puppet master. That entire season, he's kind of basically forging Big Brother strategy out of nothing. He's creating what the show ended up being. He starts on the bottom after the whole house flips against Chilltown. All of his friends, Shannon, Boogie, are evicted, and he has to play an extremely scrappy game, getting nominated several times, being comfortable being nominated, and surviving the votes solely based on his threat management, his social game, his strategic game. He puts himself in a Final 4 situation where he's probably going to get dragged to the Final 3 by anybody. Final 3 situation where he gives himself a 2/3 chance of winning. Didn't need any competitions to do it. Most charismatic player ever. One of the most important games of reality TV, or competition reality TV, ever. He created the show. But, so did Richard Hatch. The difference is Will then came back for Survivor All-Stars, and unlike Richard Hatch, did extremely well. He comes in as one of the biggest threats. I would probably argue the biggest threat, especially because Mike Boogie's there alongside with him. Starts off a little bit slow, but avoids the block due to some insane Season 6 decision-making, and eventually finds himself running the game. Whoops, we let Dr. Will run the game. Him and Boogie, mostly him, dominate the middle and late game, and only because of a little bit of sloppy endgame play does he not win Big Brother 7. He's got the most win equity of anyone in the endgame. So the case for Dr. Will is easy. He's the trailblazer. He's the first one to do it. He invented Big Brother strategy. He has 2 showings. His worst placement was 4th. And that 4th place very easily could have been a win. He got very close, and he would have gotten every jury vote. Extremely high ceiling, extremely high floor. His least impressive game, in my opinion, was Big Brother 2, and he won that season. I don't think anyone can have any arguments with Dr. Will being in the argument, being in the conversation. Now, there's another person who I think is always in the conversation, rightfully so. Dan Giesling. He's played twice, went on Big Brother 10, played one of the most dominant, scrappy, winning games in Big Brother history. Yes, it's somehow both. He's playing from the bottom and also playing from the top. It's kind of confusing. He does extremely well in competitions as well. 3 HOHs, 2 vetoes, wins unanimously. Basically nothing to criticize from the game. He plays it almost perfectly. Plays it in a very flashy manner as well. Basically inspired a whole group of Big Brother players. I think everyone after him wanted to play like Dan. Maybe up until, someone from Season 16 happens. But despite all of this, despite his dominant, clean, pure legacy, he decides, fuck it, I'm going to risk it all. I'm coming back. Season 14, just a few years later. And he plays a game that I don't think is better, but arguably is better. He comes in with the biggest threat level of anyone on the board. By quite a big margin. Maybe you could argue Boogie or Janelle. I don't think that. His team is immediately obliterated. Maybe you could blame him for that. I don't that much. And he fights from the bottom in one of the most theatrical, dramatic Big Brother games you've ever seen. He's dead to rights, Dan's funeral. He's going into the final 3 with a showmance. Let me actually cut Shane at the final 4 by getting Danielle to use a veto on me. He's by far the most creative player in Big Brother history. The plans he cooks up are unmatched. He's simply a menace. All the shit that he tries to do seems like it wouldn't work, and somehow it works unless he's on the Traitors. He gets to the final 2 with Ian. Both people at the final 3 would have taken him to the final 2. Granted, both of them would have beaten him. A lot of people criticize his game because he got to the end and lost. Bad jury management, but I think it's very difficult to imagine a returning player has any shot of winning that season. Maybe Brittany does. But how does Dan get to the end and win? I could see a lot of situations where he does better with the jury but doesn't make it to the end. But he was forced to play a certain way, played that way, and was rewarded with the second place showing. The case for Dan is not a hard one to make. Played one of the best games in Big Brother history in Season 10, came back in Big Brother 14 and played one of the best games in Big Brother history. His worst placement is 2nd, where people say he was robbed by a bitter jury. That was his worst showing. So, that is the argument for Dan, I think I did a pretty okay job of laying it out. Now, the next 2 people have tougher arguments. Cody Calafiore. Same exact resume as Dan placement-wise, a first place and a second place showing. The best competitor in Big Brother history. I think that is extremely difficult to argue. In his first season, he has 3 HOHs and 3 vetoes. Dominant. Loses in a 7-2 vote to Derek. People forget he got 2 votes. Not bad. 2 votes. A lot of people have gotten less votes. He plays a very good social game. Ultimately makes a $500,000 mistake, bringing Derek over Victoria, rather. And I thought that was going to be it for Cody. Then he gets asked on All-Stars 2. All right. He's back. I think a lot of people had him as a winner pick, and he was a great winner's pick. Big Brother 22 is one of the most dominant games in Big Brother history. I will not hear the pre-gaming excuse if you want to give Will credit for Season 7. Everyone was pre-gaming. Janelle and Danny probably the most. But pre-gaming or not, Cody dominates the season, running the show. There was a brief period where Tyler seemed to be gaining control, and that did not last very long. 4 HOHs and 4 vetoes is absurd, which gives him 7 HOHs and 7 vetoes in his 2 seasons. Again, the best competitor in Big Brother history. I will not hear another argument. And he wins unanimously, 9-0, against the strongest cast in Big Brother history. I believe that. I think BB22 is the hardest cast. So for me, the case for Cody is actually pretty simple. He's the best competitor in Big Brother history. His lowest placement, his worst showing, was 2nd, where he still got 2 votes. He was part of the duo running the game from the start, and he got himself into a winning position at the final 3. And then he plays on the strongest cast, the hardest season in Big Brother history, wins even more competitions, wins the season unanimously. One of the best triple threats in Big Brother history. I'd argue the best triple threat. Competitions, strategy, social game. Now I got one more candidate. I'm going to go through this one quickly so we can get to Traitors. The Nicole Franzel argument is pretty simple. She has the biggest resume of anyone. She's played 3 seasons of Big Brother proper. She won Big Brother 18. She came back as a winner, had a very impressive showing in Big Brother 22, had a lot of win equity going into the end game. Had she taken Cody to the end, that would have been bad, but she never got that opportunity. Her worst season, Big Brother 16, she played a fine game, got 7th. Not too much to qualm with. It was just a guy-dominated comp season. Those HOH numbers in season 16 are actually skewed as well. She won 2 more HOHs, but she was dethroned because of the Battle of the Block. So she's a good competitor, consistently good. And she won reindeer games, which I didn't count for Cody. I don't really count it, but if you want to make the case for Nicole Franzel, it's simple. She's a 2-time winner, and I'm counting reindeer games. She's a 2-time winner. She got 3rd in another placement. She's played 4 times, and her worst placement is 7th. Now, even if you don't want to count reindeer games, I think reindeer games shows how repeatable Nicole Franzel's strategy is. It's a very consistent winning path. She's got it. I think of all the winners we've talked about, she has the lowest floor. Not in terms of replacements, but in terms of, like, who the fuck would ever have Nicole Franzel going out first? Will? Dan? Cody? Maybe not Cody. Maybe you could see it. So the argument, simple. 2-time winner. She's a 2-time winner. She's the only one. So that's it. Those are our 4 candidates. Katie, run the poll so we could zoom through the challenge because no one really cares. I just like the challenge. I nerd out about it. I think this is going to be a pretty clear-cut poll, if I had to guess. Yeah. Number 1 is we could end the poll here. Dan Giesling is the GOAT of Big Brother. I think he's the only option that is reasonable. He's got 67% of the vote with Dr. Will and Franzel coming in at 2nd and 3rd. It's actually pretty close. Right now, you guys got Franzel at number 2. For me, my ranking, Dan 1, Cody 2. After that, I don't fucking know. After that, it might be like Andy. Might be Will. 3, 4, 5 in some order for me are probably Derek, Andy, and Will. So, I also don't give a shit about reindeer games. It means nothing to me. So, let's go to the challenge. The challenge, realistically, there's 4 names I would accept. I did not put Landon on this list. I don't think he's a real candidate for the GOAT. His sample size is too small for a show where people have such big sample sizes. Landon probably had the highest peak in the challenge history, winning 3 seasons, basically back-to-back. He's not on there. Evelyn, I did not put on the list for the same reason. It's just not a big enough sample size. No women on the challenge have been dominant enough against the other women. Like, Cara Maria won 5 seasons, or Evelyn won 4 or 5 seasons, I'd give it to her. But the women's been more of a level playing field. So, We have 3 candidates. I think we all know who they are. Johnny Bananas Devenanzio. 7 wins, The Island, The Ruins, Rivals, Battle of the X's, Free Agents, Rivals 3, Total Madness. A little bit of context to these wins. The Island was a very weird Survivor-based format. He actually lost an elimination there, but survived a vote. It was very confusing, but it was a team challenge where he ends up winning with a few other people. The Ruins, I actually have no idea what happened in The Ruins. Someone could tell me. Rivals, he was paired with... What's his name? It was Bananas and the guy who won the season previous. It was a very good competitor. Not The Miz. Don't tell me. It's pissing me off. I know this guy. He won previously with Brad, Dunbar, Tori, and what's his name? Tyler. Tyler's the one. So he's paired up with Tyler, who's a very strong competitor. He wins. The next season, he's partnered up with Camilla, who's one of the strongest female competitors in the show's history. Wins again. Free Agents, he wins alongside Laurel. I think that's his best win. Rivals 3, he's paired with Sarah, another very strong partner. And then Total Madness, he kind of kicks ass. He's been on 22 seasons, which is fucking insane. He wins 7 of them, which is still good. He wins about 1 in every 3 seasons, which is a pretty good clip. 12 finals is insane. And his elimination record, 15-14. Obviously not ideal for like a GOAT candidate, but it's pretty fucking good. It was actually his run on Battle of the Eras that made his elimination record positive, winning 3 eliminations. So the case for Bananas is simple. He has won the most. He has the biggest resume. He has won more seasons than anyone else in the show's history. He's won in more eras as well. He won season 17. He won season 35. No one has that longevity as a champion. And he's made a ton of finals outside of that. He wins over half the finals he's in. The finals he doesn't win, he very often gets second, third. He never gets last. I mean, he was right there almost winning Ride or Dies. He was right there almost winning, what was it, Rivals 2. He's always a competitor. CT, 5-time winner. He wins basically every final he's in. I mean, he didn't win Dirty 30. These numbers could be wrong. He was not last on 40. Kylan was last on 40. His elimination record, kind of spotty, 6-6. Just a bit of context on his wins as well. Rivals 2, he's partnered with Wes, which is like, okay, that's definitely an overpowered team, but CT was the best competitor at that time. He dragged Wes through that final, so I give him a lot of credit for that. Invasion of the Champions was a bit of a wonky format, but it was a pretty convincing win. He beat Darrell in elimination. He schooled Cory, schooled Nelson. It wasn't really close. War of the Worlds 2 plays a good strategic political maneuvering game. Wins alongside Team UK. Jordan's on that team as well, and it's a pretty strong team. I think Rogan's there. Goes on to Double Agents. Okay, this is kind of dad bod CT, and what the fuck? He wins that with Amber. He goes on his little Big Brother run. Winning Double Agents with Amber and then Spies, Lies, and Allies with Casey. Me too, Master. I'm going to cover it. The argument for CT, most fearsome, menacing challenger in the show's history. He's got 5 wins. He's shown an ability to dominate the new era, winning 36 and 37. Very impressive. Obviously, in the olden days, was a beast. Could have gotten more wins. All of his wins are solo or duos, except for War of the Worlds 2. Probably the best puzzle master in the show's history. Obviously, one of the most imposing physical guys. And politically, he's become extremely impressive, and I think he showed that in Traitors. Which leads us to the final candidate, Jordan. Someone got to help me with the data. He won 5 seasons. Battle of the X's 2. He's with Sarah. Dirty 30. Solo win. One of the most impressive wins in the show's history. War of the Worlds 1. Wait, he doesn't win War of the Worlds 1. What the fuck is that about? He doesn't win War of the Worlds 1 at all. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing a win. Don't tell me. He doesn't win Vendettas. He doesn't win Final Reckoning. He doesn't win Total Madness. Oh, World Championship? Yeah, I mean, World Championship isn't even fucking, I don't count World Championship that much. He's really like a 4-time winner, but it is still impressive. Okay, so I didn't really forget a normal season. But his wins are extremely impressive. Battle of the X's 2, he's the dominant team the entire time, but he has a strong partner. Dirty 30, he runs the fucking season. He's the best competitor by far. Whoops. CT and Derek's ass in the finals. World Championship, dominant win. War of the Worlds 2, he's running the entire political game the whole time and wins the final. Battle of the Eras, he won the final by about 7 hours. And he does it with one hand. That should not be forgotten. He also, compared to CT and Bananas, has the best elimination record by far. Again, with one hand. Winning 2/3 of his eliminations. And the most impressive part about Jordan, by far, he has not been on that many seasons. What has he been on? 7 or 8 seasons? And he's won 5? He reaches the final every time, basically. He's been eliminated before the final, once? If that? People put CT in elimination more than they do Jordan and Bananas. I mean, the data is against that. The data disagrees. Honestly, the data says that Jordan's in elimination the most. 10 and 5? 15 eliminations in that few seasons. He has more eliminations than CT. Despite being on so few. And a lot of times Jordan throws himself in elimination, so. But the argument for Jordan's simple. He has the most impressive solo wins in the show's history. He's won the most with the fewest seasons. And his floor is pretty close to his ceiling. He doesn't do poorly ever. So final poll, before we get into the Traitors. Do you have Bananas, CT, or Jordan? I have a pretty strong opinion on this one. I think there's one right answer. I think the more surprising thing would be my second place GOAT. He has one hand. Yeah, he has two, but I don't know the exact terminology to use about. I think it's his left hand, but it's not as usable. Kenny would easily be the GOAT. Yeah, if Kenny never stopped. You guys are voting CT with 46%. Jordan second. I think it is very clearly Jordan's the GOAT. I think Battle of the Eras has made that very clear to me. CT's had so many more opportunities. I think CT has so many more shortcomings and flaws than Jordan. I actually have Bananas over CT. Maybe that's my hot take. But I do think Bananas is better than CT. Oh, that's cool, Lunar. It must be pretty cool watching Jordan, you know. Like, it's unbelievable what he does. But you guys voted CT, so, you know, the chat vote, congrats CT. The elimination record takes him to top for me. Yeah, me too. What about Darrell? No, I don't consider Darrell in the conversation. Darrell was very good early, but I think you have to show some prowess in the newer era. Okay, let me go pull up the Traitors. Don't watch Challenge. Jordan's the only one I'd never heard of. I would recommend watching the Challenge. I think what's beautiful about the Challenge is you can binge it and skip the shitty seasons. Like, it's a very easy... Like, you don't have to pay attention that much. You can kind of just have it in the background and skip through things. But, like, the best seasons of the Challenge are pretty awesome. Sorry, my Peacock's having a problem. Episode 5 is the new one? Yeah. It keeps giving me this fucking Puss in Boots image saying something went wrong. Are people really paying for Peacock? Seems like a lie. Y'all aren't paying for every streaming service? Losers. What is wrong with you? This happened to me once. I forgot how I fixed it. Sorry. That's so unhelpful. But thank you, Katie. what a what an unproductive comment. Let's try Firefox. Is America watching? Yeah, I think so. She got back from the gym a bit ago. And I think we're going to be watching some Big Brother Canada today. So I'm pretty excited about that. Is the New York vlog still happening? Yeah. Probably post it tomorrow. I'm having America send me all the videos she took. It doesn't work on Safari. I'm not on Safari. I'm on Chrome. It says it's not. I'm confused. Yeah, I don't exactly have a solution to this. This is kind of upsetting. I don't know exactly what's happening. Try refreshing cache. No, I don't have a VPN on. I'm gonna try to use Firefox, but I need America to help me log in because I don't know what her login stuff is. America, I don't know your email for the Peacock. Also, maybe don't say it if you don't want people to have your email. Okay, I gotta figure out what that is. I know, I just gotta remember what it is. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Did it work?
I don't know what it is.
My brown one.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't talk to me like that. Oh, it's gonna echo real bad. And then... Okay, I don't remember the password. Oh, let's go. I do.
Nice job. Thank you. All right, I'll come get the chair in 1 second. Just want to make sure it works.
What is this, Cory?
Is it... Okay, it's working.
didn't watch last week's episode of the Traitors, but I was on Twitter, so I know what happens.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's go. Okay, let me do this. All right. We're at 0 seconds. Do you want to watch the recap to catch up?
I'll watch the recap. Yeah, okay. Actually. Oh, wait. Ask me again.
Do you want to watch the recap to?
Yeah. Last night, me and Cory were going back and forth, just saying, what's her name? Is it Cecily, or am I making that up? The little girl that plays Elphaba. Yeah.
Sure.
We were trying to get the pitch right.
I did not press play yet.
Yeah, I don't have my little thing yet. Not Elphaba, you're right. Nessa Rose, hello. It is Cecily. Okay. I'm ready. Oh my god, I haven't been on Twitter, so I don't know any spoilers. He did not start, y'all.
I didn't start, and I said I didn't start. What is wrong with you guys?
What's the issue?
I don't think we're gonna be able to watch.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Why? What's happening?
I'm pretty sure.
Are these the new AirPods?
Yeah, I tested them before, and they worked, but they don't work on stream. And I don't know why. It makes no sense.
Why don't we use different AirPods?
Because I don't have them.
What do you mean you don't have them?
I don't have them. They're not charged.
I have mine.
We can try it. If you want to get it.
Mm-hmm. The right ear doesn't work, though, that much, but I can take the right ear.
No, I don't care about that. My god, I hate this. I need to take these out. Have you ever connected them to this computer?
I think I have. For the podcast, perhaps.
What do you think they're called?
America's AirPods, perhaps? Or AirPods number something? They're not AirPods number 2?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to determine what AirPods they're.
Did we bring back the hotel snacks? Of course we did. I have all the candies. We got sour Skittles, and we got sweet tart ropes, of course. Those are my favorite. And then Cory was going to throw away the white chocolate Reese's, whatever, the peanut butter cups. And I was like, no, babe, like, I should bring them out right now.
Sir?
It's okay, babe. Breathe.
No, I'm not too bummed. I'll just quit if it doesn't work. But
Disconnect the other ones.
they're not connected.
It does say connected.
I know, but it doesn't.
Do you need to do the thing where you press it?
I'm doing that, but it doesn't pop up anywhere. It's just not, I don't even know where it would pop up.
I'll disconnect from mine. It's AirPods number 2 is the name of them.
But it names it differently on this.
It's AirPods number 2, Find My.
Let's see if this works.
Fingers crossed. Uh-oh. You hear the music?
Yep.
Eggs out. I'm logging again. This happened last week, no?
No.
Or 2 weeks ago?
Last
2 weeks
week.
ago.
Yeah. I don't think this is fixable. Last week I used the one specific pair of AirPods that for some reason works on stream.
And you decided not to charge them today?
No, I tested the other ones and they worked because I couldn't find the other ones. And they worked.
Womp womp.
Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't fix this. And I would try harder if I knew there was a chance to fix it, but the solution is
Don't want to waste time, yeah.
you play the audio on your phone. That seems kind of scuffed to me. I'm just gonna end it there. I feel bad, but I think this is just probably the best call.
Actually, that is a good idea. What if you watch on your phone? I watch on mine. We play it on here, so it's the same time for everybody. But we each have our headphones, and we'll be able to hear.
I mean, we could. I don't.
Do you know what I mean? We just press play all at once. We could be a second off. That's all right.
You both have no ads.
Yeah, because we're using the same account. And we've tested this last time because Jesus said that he was watching, or Jacob said that he was watching at the same time that you were streaming. And I was like, oh, we were all using the same account, so it's okay to stream on multiple accounts. Anyways.
It's fucking working now. Put in.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, which one do you want?
Hurry, quick. It doesn't
I think
matter.
it's working. It's such it's so fucking
We're
stupid.
starting?
I think we're fine.
Okay, wait.
Alright, let's just...
Hurry up before we jinx it. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, set. Okay, ready? Set. I hear it.
Alright, well, whatever. We got... it's beyond me.
Do you hear it?
I hear it. It's very quiet, though. I need subtitles.
Is that all the way up?
Yeah.
For volume? It is very quiet on mine, too. That's not something that you can fix there on the desktop audio?
No, that makes it louder for them, which we don't want any volume for them. Sorry, I keep pausing it. Where's the subtitles?
Question. Right there. Would wired headphones be crazy?
They wouldn't even fit.
What do you mean they wouldn't fit?
Yeah, I don't want to use wired headphones. They'd be. They also wouldn't be like. We're fine. We're good.
Can y'all hear? No, they can't hear.
They're not supposed to hear. I'm gonna pause it just so we can get back on the same page. We're at 101. Okay, 101. I'm counting down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I love Bob the Drag Queen.
I think people have to keep in mind, like, what?
But look, if you're watching this at the round table, you gotta be like, oh, both of these bitches are traitors.
Yeah, I think what they desperately need to do is make it so the traitor selection is random, or at least pretend like it's random. And I understand for them, it's like the whole show might suck if you get the wrong traitors, but it's all just metagaming now, because, like, what are you going to do? Let Boston Rob live?
Tom was gagged.
Fucking Boston Rob. Also, like...
I like Danielle. Also, I've liked her on Twitter. She's been, I don't know, just so, like, humble about everything. No, that's not the right word. People are, like, shitting on her, and she'll respond, like, you know, I was just trying my best. And I'm like, you don't have to defend yourself against these people on Twitter, you know, that are being mean.
This is awkward.
Oh. What's the time, babe?
2:26. 2:30. Also, he had no inequity. No, whatever.
Do you have a napkin? Can I have tissue? There's something in my smoothie.
Good. This is always a very good skill of Danielle's.
Just saying yes.
Like being betrayed and then being like, yeah, that's how it goes. You know, we keep playing. She did that with Will many times.
Yeah, but not your name. Hello. Oh.
Probably also an ego thing. I don't like when they have like half the people have shields. It's so lame.
It's been lame. Did they have that last episode too?
Yeah.
I don't like that shot.
So what do you do to Brittany?
We don't know, but I can't trust him.
I think that's probably the smartest way for Traitors to always act. Just kill the most obvious faithful every time.
No.
Gabby's a great kill.
No.
Brittany lives. Will she get a confessional? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they don't kill Gabby. Hopefully we lose Sam here.
It's gotta be Sam.
I would say, like, if I was actually playing on the Traitors, I would desperately want to be a traitor. Just because, like, you were literally the main characters. No one else gets screen time.
Straight up.
Like, last season, the stars of the faithful was, like, CT and Sandra, and I'm like, they didn't get much. I guess Pilot Pete got a lot.
Pilot Pete, hello.
Who do you think the Big Brother rep's going to be on Traitors for?
You don't think like Cody? Oh, Cody was already on.
Yeah. My guess would be Taylor. I just feel like Taylor is... Like, I don't think anyone would say no to Traitors at this point. And she's such an obvious ask. Oh, God. He's about to be snowed by Boston Rob. Poor Dylan.
I agree with Taylor, but I'm trying to think of who else.
Vanessa would be awesome, but I just don't see it. Maybe Franzel.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Harper. Woohoo. Wes's beard is unruly. She's like... It's also like, why is Rob alive if he just caught a traitor, you know? Felicia Cannon? Nah, I don't think so. Okay, is Bob the drag queen, is like that their name?
Yeah.
That's like the tag?
Bob the drag queen is
Okay.
their name, their drag name.
Okay. That's good. Because I was like, this feels weird to me. By the way, did Derek spoil that he does well on Twitter to me? When he's like, I did not go there. I went to find a traitor, and you'll see. I'm like, oh.
I forgot he was here.
Alright, no Brittany confessional here. So who's left? Robin, Sam, just all of them, basically?
No, Gabby.
I think Gabby's going to be here because they just said that. Alright.
Is that are you able to turn the mic up?
Turn the mic up. I'm kind of reaching.
Okay, what do you want me to do? Oh, you don't trust me with that, okay.
They're giving her such a disgusting underdog edit. It's so overt.
No!
I think the thing about Carolyn is she's always all over the place, right?
When do they start recruiting?
I think it depends on how many traitors there are. Like, I think if they lost one right now, they'd probably get another one.
Robin's fuck. Who's it gonna be?
We just want it to be Gabby. It's all we care about.
Exactly.
Come on. Oh, commercial.
How dare they?
How dare they? This is giving the Vampire Diaries cliffhangers. Sam and Gabby. That's Robin. I love Boston Rob. He just forces his answer.
No, Robin was so good too, though.
Is this all the housewives? Is that all four gone?
No, there's one more.
There
it's
is?
Dolores, right?
No sus. Part of me is like, stand up, Carolyn.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like she's done much of that.
They saw the Housewives Alliance last year and said not again. I mean, it's... we gotta read Andy Herron's article. Danielle made an enemy out of me. Well, the way they're framing it, it's all Boston Rob's fault that the housewives are dying.
And that's why she was killed.
All right, Alan. Ooh, MC.
I didn't expect Robin to be so vocal. I did like her on here.
What housewives is she?
Potomac.
It's one of the best ones, right?
It's one of the few that I've watched.
It does seem like he was built for that role. I love his suit, by the way. He looks awesome.
I love that
Shoes
material.
are cool too.
I think I had shoes that material when I was little.
Boston Rob's like a puzzle master. And I'm mad.
They're telling Carolyn this.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing you could do as a faithful, to make yourself seem faithful, is just give actual good, reasonable advice. Like, bring up good points, you know? Damn, Brittany, stop hogging all the screen time. Shit. They think we're dumb and we're so smart. So how do I know Chriselle? What's she in?
Selling Sunset, right?
What is that?
A Netflix show.
Bob's been fun.
Oh no, is it Nikki's time?
That means Boston Rob's targeting West. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it goes.
Ivar, you snitch.
I like it. Fuck it. Let's bring it all in the open. I think it's West. Yeah. Yeah.
I like your lost hoodie, babe. Or sweater.
Thank you. Someone got it for me. I'm gonna ban you, Quinn.
What do you say?
This is my stash. Is looking like a trucker.
I read Tucker from here.
I
what?
read that yesterday. Uh oh.
Oh my god. But it's like, who's he gonna believe? Wes the gamer?
Or Lord
Ivar?
Ivar. Oh, rogues, you don't have any protection. Rob is not a guy who'd believe this kind of shit.
No, this sounds like he's so guilty. He's just gotta get enough people.
Yeah. It feels like Wes understands the game better than most people. Trucker mustache raid. Queen doesn't give me ads. Oh, dear.
talking to that. Okay.
Is that Mr. Clean behind you? How dare you?
Pull him in, pull him in.
To anyone who's here from Quinn's stream, we're at 19 minutes on the Traitors season 3 episode 5.
Oh, look at him just standing there. He's definitely looking out. Oh my god!
Yeah, he is the Godfather. The way he plays Survivor is like he's always running it, and sometimes he flames out, sometimes he wins.
How many times has he won?
Once, but he also got second, bringing his wife to the end instead of beating someone in third. Easy. Which, you know, he lost that season, but like he ends up proposing at the finale, so I think that's probably the right call. Like, I'd hope at this point you'd make that decision. We're at the final 3. You beat whoever's in third, but I'd beat you, but we get all the money. We get first and second place money.
Of course, babe.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So that's what Boston Rob did. He took Amber to the end. Amber won the money, and he got second place money.
Yeah, I've heard this. I wonder, they're probably assigned, right?
What is? Oh, it's the cars?
The cars. I wonder how they're...
It's gotta
how this happens.
It's gotta be. This feels like a big Boston Rob getting banished episode, no?
I can't tell. They didn't even mention Robin earlier, and she got killed.
Yeah, the Danielle targeting Carolyn stuff's pretty crazy, but yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Oh, well, I guess because maybe in person, like, Carolyn might seem, like, very cagey, you know? Mm-hmm.
Is this the same church? I think it is.
As what?
Last season.
It's gotta be.
It's Boston Rob focus. It also always is, though. A riddle? Okay, I'm locking in.
Babe, would you get a little earring?
Would I get an earring?
A little one.
No. So feminine. I'm a boy.
You'd get a tattoo?
Yeah. Because that's cool. I just don't think an earring would look good on me.
No, yeah, but a mustache. You gotta keep the mustache. I'll trim it tonight. It's so cute.
You have bad taste.
Excuse you?
You're the only one who likes a mustache.
That's not true.
You will kill earrings. I don't care. Thanks, Shartshitter69. I needed to hear that. Michael Jordan had an earring and he's the man. You could not have made a worse argument for me. If LeBron had an earring, maybe.
What is America drinking? It's disgusting. It tastes like cardboard.
The mustache is looking good. America knows best.
Cardboard in a blender, essentially, and I just blend it up, and it's...
Sydney, please don't hit on me. It's inappropriate. I'm in a relationship.
Please keep going.
If you win, you have to take an enemy by taking someone's name off the list and putting your own on there. Okay, I like it. They're making people make social decisions in the missions, which is better than watching them put a fucking puzzle together.
Yeah.
They've been doing better with the missions, except for that one stupid-ass clown house. Fun house.
Yeah. But, yeah, this has been fun. I think, like, I feel like it's created drama.
He's been a star. He does kind of look like Tom Riddle.
He plays into it. Oh my
All
god.
right, lock in.
I don't understand.
It's just a riddle. I think gold, right?
I wish they left it on the screen.
Let's go, Bob.
Let's go, Bob.
I think it's just gold, right? Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, I guess you have a decent chance of lucking into it, right? All right. All right, Bob, not the drag queen. Idiot. All right, 1 for 1. I'm so good at riddles. You could get earrings and just let the holes close. Less of a commitment than a tattoo. Nah. Tattoos are cool. Wes can't shut up. Compass.
Okay, yeah, it's a compass.
These are not even riddles. They're like definitions. I think Derek might win, unfortunately.
Let's go. Oh, so gross, babe. I don't know why it foams up.
Boo, not Derek. He'll be boring. Look, he's so good though. He's really good.
Can I have water, please?
He's just like so dry as a personality. I think that's like a helpful trait on these shows. Not entertainment wise, but. Diamond?
Okay, yeah. Let's go.
I feel like they shortened the riddle.
I think they're just speeding up now.
Yeah. Brittany confessional. Code red. Lake. The lock, okay. Doesn't a selfish move make you look more like a faithful?
Yeah. You gotta save yourself.
They're clowning on her in the edit, too.
Yeah, no. Like, she's not even close. I
She's
understand.
shaking too. That's funny. She's like, I think Boston Rob's gonna kill her, so I think she needs the shield. Why is she shaking like...
She's not shaking. Oh, she's shaking.
It's Big Brother. Yeah, you're one of their Big Brother person. I mean, she's kind of cooking. I like it.
Well, I like it. It's just like, it doesn't make sense.
Just keep doing shit. I think Danielle would be very fun to have on Big Brother All Stars 3. I don't know how well she would do, but she would be very active and pretty crazy.
Okay.
I think that's the thing about Danielle.
I love their beef.
I think she was always like ahead of her time. Oh, he was wrong.
Okay, so once they lose, they can't go up again. You gotta pick yourself.
She's
what the
cooking.
Fuck? What? Even Carolyn's like, what are you doing?
Danielle is on fire this episode. Okay. What is happening? Even the people she's saving is like pissed. Is it Danielle exit episode?
Yeah, how did she...
I pray Danielle gets another one right. She's like, I'm gonna save Carolyn. Yeah, Brittany's definitely gonna get it because they had this confessional 2 hours ago.
The heart. Heart. Get up. Get up.
Tongue. Oh, bullshit.
Let's go, Sierra. Come on, you gotta get it right. It's the heart. She's just looking for it. Okay, there you go.
They do a lot of fake editing on the show. Where, like, you know.
Yeah.
That Brittany misdirect got me, though.
I'm telling you, the editing's not making sense. We didn't get a Robin bathtub shot. And she got killed.
You sure we did?
We didn't. We got Sam and we got Gabby.
I thought we got Sam, Gabby, and Robin.
Oh, I didn't see Robin's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Does that mean Brittany's getting murdered? It seems like the kind of decision Danielle would make. 'Cause, 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 'cause
Let's go, Sierra.
I think Derek would be a good kill for anybody, honestly.
Well, it's gonna be him or Wes, right?
To
We'll see the
die at
vote,
the
but
night?
like afterwards, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you want to take out like Gabby at that point.
This blurring filter that they have on them is crazy.
The round table. Rob's targeting Wes. He may not want to strike at Derek because then he would be the only cage boy left. I think Rob knows he's a dead man walking. They took the light out of their eyes. That is what they did, actually. I don't know what the fuck. How does Danielle not get banished here? Like...
Mm-hmm. Oh. She gonna say Carolyn? She's saying Carolyn?
Danielle's a star. Why I mean, Carolyn is one of those, like, if you get her, that's actually like a... Oh, wow, you're actually a good faithful. But then they banished Danielle, and she says she's a traitor. I think it makes Carolyn look pretty good. The Dan Phaedra plan is better than this. Dan had no other options, like... Oh. Yeah, no, I know Rachel, but it's still... That's an insane plan. I think Brittany's bullshitting her.
I want to hear from Brittany.
It just feels like she's spiraling and everyone can see it.
Yeah. I love her hair. Now I wish I didn't get layers. Oh, she's sharing it with Rob. No.
I love when the faithfuls just do this. Time, we're at a...
But
38,
they're Bambies
15,
together.
38, 15, 16, 17. This is clearly... I've never watched the show before. I love how the Traitors just do vibes. These faithfuls.
Oh my god, no.
You never vote out your allies. You never vote out your allies. Oh my god.
Why would she think Boston Rob has her back? Then why bring it up? There's something like in a coffin. What?
Yeah, it was. They chose 3 people to be in coffins, and they're saying the Traitors must have been one of them.
Oh, to try to deflect.
But it wasn't.
Well, this would happen with the RHAP, right? Traitors.
Yeah, it's like one of the people singled out should be a traitor. I think the play one time is have all the Traitors go into the coffins, you know? Derek's sus on Rob. I think everyone kind of knows it's Rob, is my read. Not everyone, but like... They said only one traitor could go in the coffin. Yeah, that's lame.
Oh, they said only one could go in the... That's stupid. I'm so hungry, babe.
Steak in the fridge.
Steak and what?
I have potatoes.
You have potatoes?
Well, they're microwavable.
No.
They're microwavable.
Babe, are you kidding me?
No.
You're so annoying. He bought these. Did you tell them? He bought these little like mini like single serving mashed potato things.
I haven't had them yet.
And you just stick them in the microwave for like a minute, 2 minutes, and it's like mashed potatoes. I think it's so gross. It's fine. You know what? It's fine. They're a nicer brand, but it's I don't think it's gross. I just think he could do better. I buy those for my son. Those are good. I don't know. I just don't trust.
Smaller, they're like little cups. This is a mess of a round table. So most people, it seems like it's gonna be Nikki, but obviously Danielle is weird, and people left us and Rob, obviously. Who do I want to die here? Interesting. I think Nikki dying is probably the best, just because it keeps a lot of big players in.
I wonder how long they're in the mansion. Like, can't be all day.
I will say, like, if Danielle is so suspicious, it makes sense to keep her in. Because then at that point, they're just going to replace her, and that one's going to be harder to find out. Like, you just keep Danielle in as long as you can and try to find the other traitors.
They literally play like back to back. It's 12-hour days. I'm sure it's 12-hour days because they have to go to location for the competitions, come back, explain the competition rules, get all the camera stuff working. So I understand like each competition probably takes 4 hours and then the drive there and back, but I don't know how much time they actually spend in the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Time check, babe.
44, 17, 18, 19. He's a good speaker. It just doesn't matter.
It's just very clear.
I think he should just say, like, honestly, Bob implied it was going to be either me, Wes, or Derek, and that threatened me.
No, she should be shitting on him. She knows she's...
Well, but you understand that's obviously wouldn't kill him then, Sam.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're both lost. Just no matter what she says.
No.
This is so dumb. This is so unimportant. This might just be an alliance game happening right now. Like, none of this actually matters, what we're watching.
Oh, no. No. No.
Are you gonna say it's Nikki?
She's gonna say Nikki. She's gonna say Nikki. No. No.
I think Jeremy's a fine person to kill. So I think Jeremy's the type of person who, like, would be smart enough to keep you around and then kill you at the end. Or banish you at the end.
This is so awkward.
None of them have seen the show, man.
I mean, they definitely see it. They just don't think about it in the same way.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, why don't you just like be on Twitter sometimes? I felt your energy shift. Oh.
I can't even be mad about that because this would be me if I were in there. Just something about your vibe is off.
Vibe makes more sense than energy. We're gonna go viral again. No, I'm just gonna praise Danielle. I'm gonna say Danielle's awesome. Well, that's not a convincing argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think Danielle is being kept around at this point. I don't think she's like... I don't think anyone thinks she's a faithful.
Okay, Bob, yeah. Let's reel it back in.
49, 45. 46, 47. It's definitely the right read.
Oh my god, Bob Harper. Boston Rob's under.
So what, it's gonna be Rob or Nikki?
Or Sierra.
Nah. I think it's Rob. I think that's where...
I hope it's Rob.
This whole episode felt like a Rob episode. I do hope to a certain degree it's Rob, just so we can get on to the next thing.
Did you ever watch The Biggest Loser?
Yeah.
Or did you just watch it on YouTube?
No, which Biggest Loser?
Okay.
I always rooted for Bob's team. Jillian was mean.
No, I remember watching it when I was little. They'd have them run on the treadmills until they literally passed out, and they would injure themselves so many times from like doing these workouts and like being yelled at. It's so insane that was allowed.
I like it, but it's a horrible show.
No, babe, they'd like puke all over themselves.
Evil. It's an evil show, but that was fun. I don't think Danielle skated by. I think they're keeping her around at this point. I think she officially has 0 in equity.
Well, I'd like to hear different confessionals from different people. I feel like we have the same confessionals every single time. We didn't need to hear Danielle be like, oh, I'm just trying to gauge what Brittany thinks. Like, we know that. Yeah. We get that from watching the conversation. I'd like to hear what Brittany's thinking after this.
All right, 2 Nikki votes.
Ugh. Okay, Bambies are done.
Thanks, JPR, for the gift. I appreciate you. Shut up, Chriselle.
Oh. Does anyone watch Selling Sunset? I never got around to it.
All right, it's Nikki, I guess, huh? There you go. It's just like, why the fuck would they make Nikki a traitor?
I'm so dead.
It's baffling. Because, like, obviously Nikki's not a traitor. Like, why would they make...
Is that even how you spell Sierra?
Can't be. I feel like the Faithfuls are doing really well right now. They should have Rob and Danielle pinned. Yeah. Like, they know they're traitors. And
they're keeping that from us.
Finding that third one is the problem.
it would. I do think.
Rob listening to someone else? Unlikely.
Yeah, exactly. Boston Rob going based off somebody else's vibes, like.
Do Carolyn.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be.
That would have been the grand finale.
No, it looks like she had written down another name.
I think they're gonna get Rob and Danielle back to back.
I don't know why Gabby would vote for her.
It's just everyone. You don't want to make someone else annoyed. Why do you think they're avoiding banishing a traitor? Avoiding recruitment is how. Yeah, I think you avoid banishing a traitor because you know who the traitors are. They recruit someone, then you know, you have to figure out who that person is.
Yeah, that sucks.
Shut up. His Gabby burn vote.
Who was banished last week again?
Bob.
Oh, duh.
Rough go for Nikki, yeah. It's always like, damn, you really think Alan Cummings and the Traitors production is going to be like Nikki's going to be one of the traitors?
Again, babe, like they've watched the game, but they don't really think about it like that.
Well, that's what Tony said they were thinking about the whole time in the castle. In theory, she has promo skills from wrestling. I mean, I guess.
Shut up, Tom.
I think Tom's going to be there at the end.
I saw a video of him. I really need to get on the Vanderpump Rules train because I saw a video of him on TikTok singing. He had like a meet and greet, but he was on stage singing with like a band.
Mm-hmm.
It was you. It was.
And Bob is going to get murdered soon. He's so faithful.
Tom is diabolical. I've heard.
I think Bob's probably the right kill at this point. He's just so faithful. The Derek versus Rob. All right.
You gotta trust more people. No. No. I love Dylan Efron. I'm sorry. I love him. He's probably having so much fun too.
Yeah.
Like, I love to see that.
Insane Danielle episode. Oh, I like that Rob has his boy.
Of course he does.
That girl.
I don't like that. What's Carolyn gonna do? Carolyn's gonna go confront her. She's gonna go confront Danielle, right?
That's got to be a cliffhanger, like the
Yeah.
turret. Yeah. It's an insane episode.
Oh my god.
Credit to Danielle. She made that episode.
This is a fun Danielle episode.
This is definitely the most dysfunctional set of Traitors we've ever had.
Yep. Will we get it like next time?
I don't think.
Yeah.
Insane fit from Danielle. Oh, God.
My god. That was so fun. There's so much going on.
There's a lot going on. I mean, I think they did a good job picking Danielle and Carolyn as Traitors.
Yeah.
Because, again, I didn't think Danielle was going to be very good, but she's a gamer. And she played insane in 3 and 7, but it was old school, so, like...
It's a different game.
Yeah, like, she was, like, the one person strategizing on that level, so she was able to do it. But now it's, like...
She's overcooking a little bit.
But I think Rob's been great on the show. Danielle's been great. Carolyn's been great. And the whole show lives and dies by if the Traitors are entertaining, so... Anyways, that's about it. You got anything, America?
No, that's it. Can't wait for the next episode.
All right, we got to go figure out dinner. But probably no stream tomorrow. But